You're watching the news track and I'm Marya Shakil. Violent protests rock Nepal as a youth-led revolution spirals into chaos. What began as a call for regime change has now turned violent, with Gen Z demonstrators looting, vandalizing and setting fire to the homes of Nepal's top leaders, including Nepalese Prime Minister KP Oli. Former Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deoba's residence was torched as well. Wife of another former Prime Minister, Jhalanath Khanal, was tragically killed when his house was set on fire. The capital city of Kathmandu lies mired in anarchy. Under siege and out of options, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has resigned, forced out by a generation that refuses to stay silent. Tonight, we bring you the story of Oli's dramatic fall from power and ask the big question: after Oli, who? Who will be Nepal's next Prime Minister? First up the story, and then I bring in the guests.
Nepal is on fire. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has stepped down, citing an extraordinary situation as massive protests engulf Nepal. On Tuesday, chaos erupted as thousands of demonstrators stormed the streets, setting fire to parliament and vandalizing the homes of several political leaders. Gen Z-led protesters launched coordinated attacks across Nepal, targeting residents of prominent figures, including former Prime Minister. His wife tragically succumbed to burn injuries after their home was torched by the mob. In a last-ditch move, a desperate Oli appealed to the army for protection and a safe passage from his residence. But army chief reportedly refused, saying order was impossible with Oli in power. India Today has learned that Oli is now preparing to flee to Dubai, citing medical treatment as the reason. The anger of youth protesting against corruption and social media restrictions had already reached his doorsteps. Demonstrators stormed and torched Oli's private residence in Balkot, an unmistakable message that people had enough. From the power to panic, Oli's fall was in the making. Authoritarian rule, soaring inflation, vanishing jobs, a disastrous COVID response, and corruption that shattered public trust all contributed to his downfall. On the streets of Kathmandu, cheers replaced chants as news of Oli's resignation spread. Protesters held a march calling Oli's exit people's victory. As KP Sharma Oli's leadership faces uncertainty, several figures emerge as potential successors. Former Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deoba of the Nepali Congress could return as a compromise candidate, while Maoist leader Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda may try to forge a new alliance. Reformist Shekhar Koirala, also from the Congress, has distanced himself from the ruling coalition. Meanwhile, Kathmandu's outspoken mayor, Balender Shah, popular among youth, stands out as a bold independent voice. This is the third violent change of guard in India's neighborhood in 3 years. Mahendra Rajapaksa was forced to give up power in Sri Lanka in 2022. And Sheikh Hasina had to flee Bangladesh in 2024. While there are celebrations on the streets of Kathmandu, there is also caution in the air. What comes after Oli could define Nepal's future for years. With Amit Bhardwaj and Rohit Singh in Kathmandu, Nepal, Bureau Report, India Today.
And joining me now is Dr. Pramod Jaiswal. He is a research director at Nepal Institute for International Cooperation and Engagement. He's joining me from Kathmandu. We have Reshma, who is part of that protesting students group. We'll be joined by two other experts or analysts on the show in just a bit. Dr. Jaiswal, the question is Nepal staring at a long period of uncertainty, or are you of the opinion that this period in which the Nepalese army is in charge is going to be short-lived, and as protesters have been demanding, Balin Shah will be in charge of the interim government?
I think it's too early to make any speculations, especially when Balin himself is not aware that he can be a next prime minister, and we don't know where the country is moving to. But what one can predict is, looking at the demands of the protesters, they have asked for interim government, they have asked dissolution of the House, they have asked election under interim constitution, interim government. So I think whole process will take some time. Obviously, maybe in a week there will be a new team who will be leading and normalizing the situation. But I think to have a new election will take some time. So overall, it's a new journey where we have to wait for some time to go through. But I think there is a lot yet to be resolved at the moment. As you said, nothing is clear. We don't know what are the clear demands of the protesters. What are the demands would be addressed? Who will address those demands? How long will and who will address those demands? How we can have normalcy in Kathmandu, have law and order problem? How efficient Nepal army will be there? You know, all these are still difficult to answer, especially the legal questions also arise, how we can address those. There are lots of questions yet to unfold before we can make any concrete comments at the moment.
Okay, so perhaps Reshma will be able to answer some of these questions. Reshma, what is the end game or the final objective of protesters? The question is that this was seen as a Gen Z protest, but Gen Z protesters certainly did not want this kind of violence to play out, because over the last few hours we have been speaking to a lot of protesters, and they say that this is not something that they had expected, that they had certainly not expected that a former prime minister's wife will be tortured to death. So now that the protest has turned violent, what is it that the protesters are expecting will happen next?
Ma'am, actually, I'm not leading the protest, actually. I'm just the youth of this country. You know what I mean? Basically, this Gen Z revolution is actually, they want the corruption to end. That's only the point. That's only the point. I'm not leading anything. I'm just a random person who lives here.
Okay, so when you say that the protesters want corruption to end, how will that corruption end? Because the prime minister has resigned. It is the Nepalese army which is now in charge of the country.
So moving further, we don't know, like maybe the Nepalese army will be leading us for a certain time until the vote is done or something happens forward. But till then, nobody has any answers about that.
And what about the violence? As just a youth
No violence is acceptable. Actually, no violence is acceptable. I know people are angry. People have so much aggression inside them. But no violence is accepted. We are very sorry. I always say violence is not accepted at all. Burning the public properties, torturing the people of the country, it's not the solution of this problem.
So if that is not the solution, and you are among the youth who feel that this is not the way out, then there is also this sense that this protest is no longer organic. It's no longer organic. That is perhaps it is being orchestrated.
The youth doesn't want this. Maybe they protested. They did everything because yesterday 20 of the children who were in college uniforms were killed. Maybe the aggression was in their heart. I don't know. Maybe something has happened. It's not only about Gen Z. Their mother, their parents, everybody was outside their house today. It's not only about the young generation, actually. Everybody wants, each and every people in this country wants corruption to end. That's only what we want. We are not demanding violence. We are not supporting violence. If somebody does it, we are against it.
Okay, let me bring in others now. Darshan is joining us. We also have Shaswat. Shaswat, the question is that as one of the early voices that led these protests, how do you view this change now? The fact is that you wanted, you know, if you're thinking that corruption will end suddenly, that's not going to happen. Perhaps there will be a regime change. That is evident now. What is it that you all are expecting now?
After the social media ban, I was extremely concerned about freedom of speech, and I wanted a permanent solution to this problem and also other problems rampant in our country. What I did not want was this level of atrocity, this level of violence. I see right now my home city, my homeland is burning in front of me. Black smoke has covered Kathmandu Valley. I really hope this is not a bad omen for what is to come tomorrow.
So you are actually fearing as to how this protest has taken a form that none of you planned, and now it is out of your hand?
Yes, we planned it. We set out 7 points agenda. We wanted to negotiate with the government. We were in consultation with various legal experts and scholars. We wanted to do this as peacefully as we can. We wanted to raise our concerns to the highest level and reach to a peaceful solution by negotiating with the government, not by overthrowing it, not by using such kind of atrocity. This is absolutely insane. I don't think any one of us who were organizing the September 8th protest
Okay,
even thought about the level of atrocities
so
that
you are
happened right
essentially of
now.
the opinion that you wanted to negotiate with the government, but the fact is that there is no government today. So what is it, and who do you think is best suited to govern Nepal now? Who do you want as your potential leader?
So right now, the state is in chaos. Nobody is under nothing is under control. Everyone is for themselves. There's looting right now, right in the street where I live. There's fires everywhere. People have knocked on my doors as well. It is absolute chaos, and I really do hope, sincerely hope that that a strong leadership emerges from this. I sincerely hope that people will not take advantage of this and push their own personal agenda, uh, and that I really hope we have not removed one corrupt leader to bring in thousands many more.
Okay, that's a valid fear, I would say, Darshan. What are your thoughts, Darshan? Do you share the concerns which have been shared here by Shaswat?
Absolutely. I mean, there is a lot of confusion right now in the air, and recently the army chief have also, released a statement saying that they will handle this transition period.
Narendra Modi there greeting the next Vice President of India, C.P. Radhakrishnan, Maharashtra Governor C.P. Radhakrishnan, who is the NDA candidate for the post of the Vice President, will succeed Jagdeep Dhankar in this post. He's a 68-year-old who won with 452 first preference votes, and the opposition candidate, Justice Sudarshan Reddy, won 300 votes in this election. All eyes will be on who are those who actually indulged in cross-voting. But Prime Minister Modi there meeting the next Vice President at the residence of Union Minister Prahalad Joshi. You can see the BJP President also present, and other leaders who have been involved in this entire electioneering, which is the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, Kiran Rijiju, and others who have been involved extensively. Mr. Vinod Tawade also seen along with C.P. Radhakrishnan. Prime Minister Modi, in fact, met him just few minutes ago. In fact, he had also congratulated C.P. Radhakrishnan on his Twitter handle just few minutes ago, and had said that this is a historic moment because his life, C.P. Radhakrishnan's life, has always been devoted to serving society and empowering the poor and marginalized. I'm confident that he will be an outstanding VP who will strengthen our constitutional values and enhance parliamentary discourse. Let me bring in Piyush, who joins us live from outside Prahlad Joshi's residence. So Prime Minister there at present, who's now there at the residence to greet the new Vice President of India. Piyush.
Well, Marya, it was a short visit of PM Narendra Modi. He stayed for around 5 minutes at the residence of and he has just left from his residence after congratulating him on this landslide victory. Remember that it's a huge win for NDA, where its candidate CP Radhakrishnan has secured 452 votes, around 152 votes more than the India alliance, and it's a big boost for NDA, and that's why PM Narendra Modi and various other MPs of NDA are present at the residence of Prahlad Joshi, which is also the election office of CP Radhakrishnan, and all these MPs are here to congratulate CP Radhakrishnan, and felicitation program has been held here at the office of CP Radhakrishnan. So it's a grand event which is taking place at the election office of CP Radhakrishnan, where the entire office has been garlanded along with PM Narendra Modi. Other senior MPs of NDA are present here to congratulate him.
And Piyush, when we look at the cross-voting, what is NDA's estimate? Who has cross-voted in favor of CP Radhakrishnan?
Well, what we are now learning, Marya, big claim has now come in from JDU working President Sanjay Jha, where he is now saying that had 15 votes not been termed invalid, then NDA candidate CP Radhakrishnan would have got 10 more votes. So NDA partner and JDU leader, he's saying that 10 votes out of these 16 votes got invalid, and these votes belong to NDA. And that's what he is now claiming. So that's a big claim coming in from JDU, and they are of the view that cross voting has also taken place, and there are some independent MPs who have voted in the favor of NDA candidates. So that's a claim coming in from JDU MP. We'll have to wait and watch how the opposition is going to react on this.
Okay, and overall, what happens now, Piyush, in terms of protocol and process which will be followed? Now that, Vice President, he is Vice President-elect, he will have to be sworn to the Constitution for him to take charge. When is that swearing in likely to happen?
Well, swearing in will take place after the Ministry of Law and Justice comes out with a date. What we are now told is that the presiding officer of the Rajya Sabha Secretary PC Modi is going to inform the Election Commission of India and also the Ministry of Law and Justice, and after that they are going to decide. But we are learning from our sources is that most likely on September 12th, the oath-taking ceremony will take place, but we are still trying to get it confirmed from our official sources. But we are hearing from a few leaders within the NDA that most likely the oath-taking ceremony will take place on September 12th.
Yes, and visuals also now coming in, Piyush, of Home Minister Amit Shah meeting CP Radhakrishnan, and perhaps all the leaders, the senior Raisina Hills ministers will be meeting CP Radhakrishnan in few minutes from now. So it's a day of celebrations, but all the dinners that were planned of larger NDA partners, that was put on hold. In fact, it was cancelled because of the flood situation in Himachal and Punjab. So the celebration is pretty muted right now, Piyush.
Well, celebration is not taking place. It was just a courtesy meet by PM Narendra Modi where he congratulated CP Radhakrishnan. I remember that before two big dinners were planned, one by BJP's National President JP Nadda and the another one was by PM Narendra Modi, where JP Nadda was going to host all the BJP MPs at his residence and the PM was going to host all NDA MPs at his residence. But later on it was decided that due to the flood which has ravaged the lives of many people in the states of Punjab, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the dinner ceremony was also cancelled. PM Narendra Modi during the workshop of BJP MPs had also highlighted that at a time when people are facing a lot of problems due to flood, he did not feel like he did not feel like organizing a ceremonial dinner. So that's what the Prime Minister had also said. So because of the flood situation in multiple parts of the country, Prime Minister decided to cancel the dinner meeting with MPs, and a similar sort of procedure was followed by BJP's National President JP Nadda. And after that, we also saw how opposition also decided to cancel their dinner. Mallikarjun Kharge was also all set to hold a dinner for India MPs, but later on it was
We
also
have the
cancelled. So
visuals now of Defence Minister Rajnath Singh meeting CP Radhakrishnan. Remember, soon after that name was announced, it was Defence Minister who made the calls to all political parties seeking their support for the NDA nominee in CP Radhakrishnan. So who is CP Radhakrishnan? The governor of Maharashtra is an OBC Tamil leader with deep administrative experience of running a state unit of the BJP, and he is a former MP of Coimbatore. So here's a quick wrap-up of life and time of CP Radhakrishnan as he takes charge of as the Vice President. Of course, that swearing-in ceremony will be happening sometime in the next few days, and thereafter his primary responsibility will be that of running the upper house, that is the Rajya Sabha.
Chandrapuram Ponnuswamy Radhakrishnan arrived at the Ram Mandir early morning to offer prayers a couple of hours before the vice presidential election was to start. A staunch RSS member, he and his wife have been molded by the Sangh discipline since his teenage years. A college champion of table tennis with a BBA degree from Chidambaram College in Thuttukudi in Tamil Nadu, CP Radhakrishnan was elected to Jan Sangh's Tamil Nadu State Executive Committee in 1974. That was the start of his political career. In 1980, when BJP was formed, 23-year-old CP Radhakrishnan became former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee's aide. 18 years later, in 1998, Radhakrishnan was elected to the Lok Sabha, representing Coimbatore. After 2 decades of shadowing Vajpayee, Radhakrishnan became the prime author of the alliance between BJP and AIADMK. When DMK ended its ties with NDA in 2004, Radhakrishnan once again got AIADMK in an alliance with BJP. He became the Tamil Nadu state president for the party from 2004 to 2006 and worked simultaneously to build the Kerala state unit of BJP. In 2014 and 2019, twice he contested from Coimbatore in the Lok Sabha elections but lost. And then in 2023, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the appointment of CP Radhakrishnan as the governor of Jharkhand. A year later, following the resignation of Tamilisai Soundarajan, he was given additional responsibility as governor of Telangana and as lieutenant governor of Puducherry. For the next 1 year and 4 months, Radhakrishnan had to struggle with all 3 responsibilities of 2 states and 1 union territory.
I, Chandrapuram Ponnuswamy Radhakrishnan, do swear in the name of God.
In July 2024, CP Radhakrishnan was appointed the governor of Maharashtra, relieving the burden of administration of 2 states and the union territory of Puducherry. Another year passed and then Jagdeep Dhankar resigned, suddenly as the Vice President of India. Party top brass once again turned to trusted strong hand of CP Radhakrishnan to tide over this crisis. At 67, this man from the OBC community in Tamil Nadu, Chandrapuram Ponnuswamy Radhakrishnan, is now the 17th Vice President of India.
So CP Radhakrishnan there meeting the Prime Minister. He has had several union ministers from Home Minister Amit Shah to Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, all of them greeting him on his victory with 452 votes is what the victory of the new Vice President of India looks like. He is, of course, going to be sworn in to office in the next few days. But these are the visuals of celebrations which are happening at Prahlad Joshi's residence. I'm leaving you with these visuals. Thanks so much for watching.